Hey guys, Allie Bloyd here, and today's video is going to cover programs and tools that you're going to need to execute the strategies that I'm going to deliver to you throughout this program. This may seem like a lot. There may seem like way more tools than you ever expected to need, and you're right, you don't need all of them. You can pick and choose what best suits your needs. I am going to share with you what I've used, my experiences, some pricing information, and how important I feel that to be. So we're going to go ahead and just dive right in. The first thing, obviously, that you're going to need is a computer. I would suggest if you are doing design work or video work that you purchase a Mac. However, PCs have really improved over the last several years and they're great for things like that as well. But Macs have always been known to be great with design software and video software, and I've always used Macs, so I highly recommend them. You're also going to want to have an external hard drive because what you're going to be creating through this program could take up a lot of space if you're doing video. Video is something that's going to take up more space than anything else. So if that's something that you plan on doing, which you can always decide when you get to the end of the program if it's something you want to do, I would suggest investing in a hard drive because you can't trust technology to always deliver. And the last thing that you would want to do is lose so much of what you've created, things that could have taken hours to develop. So don't take that risk and just look into a hard drive. I use a LaCie and it's been great for me, so I recommend that. As far as your website goes, there's a few things you're going to need. I hope that most of you already have a website, but if you don't, I'm just going to share a few of the hosting tools. I, first of all, highly recommend WordPress. There are some other great tools out there like Wix and Squarespace that are supposedly very easy to use, but I like WordPress because it's so customizable to specific needs. I've never wanted to add some type of customization and was not able to do that through some WordPress integration or plugin. So I love WordPress. I find it really easy to use, and if you choose a good theme that's easy to modify, you shouldn't have to do a ton of work in that department. They're also great for blogging, so you're going to be able to increase your SEO on one site. Some people will have an external blog, but I find that it's kind of backwards. If you're trying to increase SEO, you want it to be on your main site. So for hosting, you can use GoDaddy. I personally use SiteGround. It is a great hosting platform, especially for WordPress. They've got amazing customer service. It's a bit more expensive than GoDaddy, but the reason I switched was because I was having a lot of downtime. I was getting a lot of issues and I was down for about half of a month once, on and off, and it was terrible. So we just decided to make the switch and it's been great ever since. We've still run into a few hiccups here and there, but they're so great about taking care of that right away. DreamHost is another great hosting platform, especially for WordPress. There's a lot of them out there, but those are three that I would recommend. For email, you could need certain integrations for your email system to your website. So that's really going to depend on the type of website that you get and the type of email autoresponder that you're using. So some of them may be external plugins that you have to purchase. Some of them may seamlessly integrate with your site. So that's something you want to look into when you're developing your site or when you're looking into a new autoresponder, or if you're going to be just now integrating a lot of email capture forms onto your site. The best thing that you can do is turn traffic that comes to your site into traffic that you own or a subscriber. So having those email subscription forms all throughout your site is one of the best things that you can do. You're also going to need a Facebook Pixel plugin if you're using WordPress, most likely. Sometimes you don't need it. A lot of times you will need a plugin for that. And for Wix and Squarespace, I'm not sure how that works, but that's a possibility. You also are going to want to get the Google Chrome Pixel Helper. That's just a free extension that you're going to add to your browser that's going to help you check certain code that you're going to be implementing on your website. It's not something you have to do right now, but it will be a tool that you'll need, and we'll talk about that later on. Super Simple Google Analytics is another plugin that I use for my site just to integrate my Google Analytics very easily. It takes 2 seconds to set up and there's no coding required, so it's a really great solution for that. If you are in the home improvement retail or any type of retail business, you are most likely going to want to get the 2 plugins called WP All Import and the All Import Pro version. This is going to allow you to really easily update your products, especially if you have a lot of products. It's going to save your life time and time again. So that's a really great one for retail stores. And if you're going to be doing dynamic product ads, which again, mostly retail focused, you're going to want to get the Facebook product catalog feed by Pixel Helper. So I'm going to give you a list of all of this that you can download. It's going to have the link right below this video. So don't worry about writing all this down. I just want to quickly go over these things. And if there's anything that needs to be explained, I can do that because you're not going to have a real explanation in the download. For email, there's a few things that you could use. One of the most common is Constant Contact. I have used that in the past, but I switched just due to glitches. It wasn't very designer friendly. I didn't really love the templates they offered, and there were a few limiting features when you get into some advanced marketing strategies. I switched over to MailChimp. It's actually been more affordable. There are still some things that I'm not able to do that I'd like to do. They're not extremely important. I may consider switching in the future, but it's done everything that I need it to do up until this point. It is a really user-friendly platform. I'm going to show you several videos on how to use that. But it's a great affordable platform for businesses that it doesn't do too much. It does email, and I think they've introduced some landing page options and things like that, but overall it's not trying to do too much, so the learning curve is a lot smaller than some of the other programs. A few of the other programs are Infusionsoft or ActiveCampaign or Aweber. Those are more advanced marketing autoresponders. Those will be the ones that I look into when I do switch. They're much more expensive than the other platforms, which is why I haven't jumped at the opportunity to switch. However, I'm sure it will save a lot of time in the long run. So that's just something you have to weigh. Is the cost worth the time that you'll save? However, there's definitely a much larger learning curve with those programs. If you are not really tech savvy, I don't know if that's the best starting option for you. If you do have someone that's very tech savvy on your team, they could hopefully help you get it set up. They definitely have tutorials and support and all of that, but a lot of them do more than just email. They're going to have CRM capabilities, customer service, and support desk capabilities, as well as a few other things. So those are some of the best autoresponder and email platforms that I can recommend. With automation, the #1 program that I'm going to recommend is called Zapier. And this program is absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to talk about it throughout the course, but it's basically going to integrate all of your different programs and softwares with one another. You may not really think you need that right now, but as you go through this program, you're definitely going to see how that is a huge plus. It's really affordable. It starts at $10 a month, so there's really no reason not to get it. And when I show you some of the options that are available with this, I'm sure you're going to jump on that right away. The next category would be for landing pages. Again, you may not be familiar with landing pages at this point, but we will dive into them much deeper. My favorite is ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is a really great solution for beginners and those that are advanced. Once you learn the program, which they have amazing content that helps you learn this program, you'll be able to build your landing pages very quickly, and you can continue to optimize them, test them, and make sure they're as effective as they can be. Thrive Architect is another plugin that I use, and this is specifically for WordPress. I use both of them, but I just use both of them because you have a certain limit on how many funnels you can have in the plan that I'm on. And some of my pages are not that important to where I would need to build an entire funnel for them. They're very basic landing pages for someone to sign up for this and that. So I do use both, and they're both great, and you can definitely develop complex funnels with Thrive Architect, but it's not quite as easy as ClickFunnels, in my opinion, and it doesn't have the robust features that I like with ClickFunnels. So ClickFunnels starts at $97 a month. It may sound like a lot, but if you are utilizing it within your business to its full potential, it will pay for that many, many times over. Thrive Architect is $67 for one site, and I believe that's a one-time payment. So there's definitely a big price difference, but you're also going to get a lot of different things with ClickFunnels than you would with something like Thrive Architect. For Facebook Messenger and Messenger marketing, which is very exciting, we're definitely going to cover that in detail throughout this course, I would recommend ManyChat. There are several other options, but I don't even want to tell you about them because I believe that ManyChat, ManyChat, is the best program on the market for this at the moment. Everything that I'm going to show you is specific to ManyChat. It's extremely affordable. You can be on a free plan forever if you want to be. It doesn't limit you by subscribers, but I do highly recommend getting on a pro plan if you want to do everything that Messenger is capable of, which you are going to see the amazing things that your business can do with Messenger. So that is a great program to go ahead and get installed on your page. Go ahead and purchase that. You can start playing around with it if you want, but you're really going to learn some advanced strategies throughout this course. For social media, you're obviously going to need a Facebook account, an Instagram account. You're going to want to set up an AdWords account for Google and Google Analytics. That's going to be huge for tracking your website data. Those are all pretty simple to set up. There are links all over the internet to show you how to set those up if you need some extra help, but those are really key programs that you're going to want to have for your business. Iconosquare is what I use for Instagram scheduling and Instagram analytics. There are several other programs out there, but that's the one that I find to be really affordable and still very effective. So Iconosquare is going to be for your Instagram, and that starts at about $9 a month. Hootsuite is what I use for my social media scheduling. I could use it for Instagram as well, but I like the additional features that Iconosquare offers, and for such an affordable price point, it's just something that I'm willing to have separate. But Hootsuite's a great program. It starts at $6 a month. It is everything that you should need. There are some more advanced platforms, but I've always been able to do everything that I need within Hootsuite. The support's good, and it's really user-friendly. For videos and webinars, Webinar Jam is the platform that I personally recommend for webinars. That's what I'm currently using. There are several other different options that you can do. You can use Zoom, you could use GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar. There's a lot of different options, but I found this to be really affordable and very easy to use, and it had all the features that I was looking for. You're also going to need to set up a YouTube account. That is critical when doing webinars. You are actually going to stream through YouTube Live for most of them. So even if you don't really feel like you're going to be doing a lot of videos, which if you're not, I would actually really consider that you reconsider that. But go ahead and set that YouTube account up because you're going to have it. Wistia is another program that you can use for videos, and Wistia is really cool. It actually is a free program to start out with. It's going to show you analytics on your videos. So it's going to show you how long people are watching, where the drop-off point is, and a lot of other really cool stats that's going to help you to make your videos better. If you know that every one of your viewers is stopping at 50% through, then you know that halfway through that video, you need to change something. You need to make it more engaging. There's a reason they're not staying. There is an app that I use for editing videos and adding cool backgrounds and text to my videos, and that's called InShot. And it is available on iPhone and Android, I believe. Really, really easy to use. I will show you how to use this in this course, but it is going to really make some of your videos stand out, especially on social media. So that's only $2.99. It's a one-time purchase for that app. For video editing, you can do a lot on your phone these days. A lot of the videos that I shoot are iPhone videos. I can do some basic editing, maybe just cutting off a few seconds in the beginning and the end straight from my phone. That's not a big deal. You can do a few more things if you need to adjust lighting and stuff like that, in pretty basic apps. But if you're going to be doing anything more advanced, you can use iMovie on a Mac computer. You can use OpenShot or VideoPad. Those are for Mac or PC. I use Adobe Premiere and sometimes Adobe After Effects. Those are more advanced editing programs. So if you don't think you need anything really advanced, you probably don't need to get into those, but I really enjoy using them. Adobe Premiere is actually a pretty easy program to learn, in my opinion, if you're familiar with those types of tools. So don't let it be too intimidating. If you do end up getting the Adobe Suite, which I do recommend, then that's going to be part of your Creative Cloud. So you can go ahead and download that program and give it a shot on your next video project. But there are a lot of really easy apps and things like that that you can use for different aspects of video editing, just not typically putting together an entire composition. Clipman is another tool that I use. It's Clipman, and this is an online program that helps you put together really cool social media style videos. It's going to add text on top of the videos. The text is going to be moving. It lets you add music in the background. You can turn photos into a video very easily with Clipman. You can also use video clips as well. So this is a great program. It's about $37. And you can opt to be in something called a template club that you get access to new templates every month. That's something that I do, but it's not something you have to do. So if you don't want to do that, it's going to be a one-time payment. So really affordable, great tool to use. As far as actually producing some of your videos, number one, you need a camera. If you're not comfortable just using your phone, I really do believe that phone cameras are just as good as most of the cameras out there. So it's not so much about the camera anymore. It's really about the other tools that you have, as long as your phone has enough memory to support the videos that you're recording, because that can be an issue sometimes. You're going to need a tripod. They have iPhone tripods or, cell phone tripods, no matter what phone you have. That's something I use all the time. You can sit it on a chair if you need to and adjust the height because they're typically not full height. They have a little remote control that comes with them, so you can click a button to turn it on, so you don't have to be messing with it and then go back and start recording. That makes editing even easier if you can just start from the starting point in your video and there isn't anything to trim off at the beginning or the end. I would suggest getting a ring light. There's a lot of different lighting options. I have some softbox lights, but for practical purposes, a ring light is really easy to move around. It's really easy to set up. It's affordable and it gives great light. As long as it's not a huge space that you need to light, they're going to do really, really awesome. You can find those on Amazon. I'm sure you can find them at Best Buy and other places that sell equipment like that. Those are really the key things that you're going to need. The other thing I do have is an external audio recorder. It really depends on if I need it or not. Sometimes just the audio on my phone is good enough that I don't want to take the extra step to import the external audio and piece those two together. If you are in a space that's echoey, if you're in a space that there's going to be any sort of background noise that you don't want, whatever it may be, or even someone who talks really softly, having an external recorder is a great way to get awesome audio. And you basically are going to take your video, you're going to replace the audio with the audio file that you recorded on the external recorder. It can be a little bit more advanced. If you're not looking to get into any of the advanced editing programs, you may not want to use it. But ultimately, like I said, it's not that hard to do a basic composition. So I can do a YouTube video on that. You guys can check out my channel and just quickly learn how to put something like that together. So just know that you don't always have to rely on your phone audio if that is what you're using. Project management is the next section that I'll go into, and you definitely want to have some project management tools. Most likely, if you're executing everything that I'm going to talk about in this course, you're not going to be doing it alone. You could be doing a lot of it by yourself, but you are going to need a few team members. And these could be outsourcers. These could be virtual assistants. These could be interns. These could be whoever you want it to be. Or it could be a full marketing department. But you are going to need to manage the projects that are going on. I use Podio. It is a really great tool. It's a free program when you're just starting out, and you can manage so much. I manage all of my blog content, all of the webinars and live events that I do, social media posting. So many things can be managed. Your entire task list. It's a great way to have everything all in one place as far as your calendar, the tasks that need to be done, the projects that you're doing, and what tasks are associated with those. You can add team members, you can collaborate, you can add files. So it's a great, really easy to use program that's very customizable. You basically install apps within the program based on your needs, based on the things that you do in your business. Google Drive, or the G Suite, is another big thing for me. I use every single aspect of the G Suite. I use Google Slides, which is PowerPoint, basically. I use Google Docs, which is basically Microsoft Word. Google Sheets, which is Excel. I use Drive to store and organize all of my files. I use so many different aspects. I use Google Forms, so I highly recommend using that. I think it's $6 a month for small businesses. It's not very expensive, but it's a great way to keep all of your files and documents organized. I love it. I also use Dropbox. So you only have so much space in your Google Drive unless you want to upgrade. A lot of times what I'll do is I will have a lot of my images and my templates and things like that in my Drive, because it's really easy to drag those and open them, as opposed to Google Drive, which you could have to download the files in order to work on them. And then you're going to have to re-upload them. So for a lot of the creative files, it's a little bit more work. But definitely both of those are very critical to keeping everything organized and making sure everything is where it's supposed to be so that you can find it easily and that others can find it easily if they're working on that. For creative tools, I recommend the Adobe Creative Cloud. It's $99 a month. You're going to have access to Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, After Effects, Adobe Premiere. So a lot of really cool, really advanced programs, but you may not need all of them. I'm actually not sure if you can purchase individuals. You may be able to do that, but I love the Adobe products. I am a graphic designer by trade. That was my major in college, so I have grown up using the Adobe products. And if you do plan on doing any custom graphics, I think it's the best out there. Not only for the graphics and for layout, but also the video editing software is what I love as well. Canva is another really amazing tool. It's free for the most part. You have the ability to buy templates if you want them, but there's a ton of free templates. This is great for business cards, flyers, invitations, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, cover photos, you name it, they've got templates for it. Really, really easy to use. And they all look great for the most part. You can customize them with your colors, your logos, the fonts that you use. So definitely check out Canva. We'll have a little tutorial throughout the course in here, but it's canva.com. And then Big Stock Photo is another really great resource that I use. It's just a stock photo site. It's $79 a month if you want 5 downloads a day. You may not need that. I use that just because it's actually the most economical in comparison to the rest. If you're doing a lot of blogging or anything like that, you're going to need stock photos because you have to own the photos that go on your website. There are some free, royalty-free sites that you can use, but what I found is the quality of the photo is much lower, and I personally haven't been able to find a lot of great content that relates to the home improvement and home service business and interior design that I find to be really quality and relevant. I need my images to look great for people to resonate with them and say, oh, that's beautiful, or I want that, or you know what I mean? So that's why I think it's important to invest in a stock photo site. However, with this course, you're going to get a ton of stock photos for free, so you may not even need one. You may have everything that you need right in there. So I really hope that you do, but if you don't, that's where you can go. And my creative library is going to be another resource for you. So like I said, you're going to get a lot of great creatives through this course. So make sure you check it out before you go and purchase anything, because I'm going to give you a lot of the templates that I've developed just to save you time and help you out. The last thing I'll say is for printing, I use a site called forover.com. It is actually a trade printing site. You don't have to have a business number to sign up for it, although you are a business, so you should be able to do that. I signed up for this years ago, so hopefully that's still the case, but I order from this site all the time, and you can get amazing deals on flyers, business cards, whatever it is that you need, they can do it. They've got really high quality products, a ton of options, and great support. So definitely check them out. I have used things like Vistaprint, and I've used several local printers in my area. Really just make sure you check prices. I typically can get 1,000 business cards for about $25, $23 for a pack of really high quality business cards. One printer that I recently used was actually charging me $70, and I didn't think to get that quote because I'd always been paying something very similar. But if you're getting multiple sets of business cards for different employees and you're paying $50 more, that is really going to add up. So make sure you don't just assume certain prices. Local printers don't typically give you just a price list. You have to ask for prices on just about everything. So make sure you do that. But Forover is going to be a really great resource for you to use, and I hope it works out for you. So this is the tools and programs video. Hopefully it's been helpful. If you guys have any questions on any of the tools or programs that I've gone over, please let me know, and I would be absolutely happy to help you. So thanks so much.